Hi, stitching friends. I hope that if you celebrate the holidays this time of year, that your holidays are going well. We had a very nice Christmas Eve and Christmas. As you can see, I have a little fur baby with me today. I am cat sitting while my daughter house sits for friends. And this is Morris. And he's still very much a kitten. Aren't you, buddy? He's a sweet little guy. But I haven't managed to get much stitching in these last couple of days because he has kept me very busy. So hopefully he will cooperate and let me do this video. Right, Morris? Hey, buddy, are you sleepy? This sleepy kitty. Let me see. Hey, Morris, look, look. Look, oh, I adore him, except when he bites me. But we're working on that, aren't we? Yeah. Okay, so let me see if I can get him to take a nap. Here you go, buddy. And we will start the video, but before we do, I will just share with you a couple of my gifts that I received that are kind of stitchy related. The first one is this adorable pair of pajama pants that I got from my daughter. And I do knit, so I thought that they were so cute. And they're so soft. And the second one, she got me this gorgeous pair of scissors. They are by Sullivan's. And I have had them out and tried them. They're very sharp. And I think that they will probably become my favorite scissors to use as I cross stitch. I'll probably have to end up doing this video in a couple of different segments, or there will be some cuts because I have so many things to show you. In 2016, I had 50 new starts. Of those 50 new starts, I had 34 finishes. Of those 34 finishes, I had 20 FFOs. And I normally store all my finishes in this little case that I was lucky enough to find in a charity shop in England for about 50p. It was in horrible condition and I refinished it to kind of be a vintage looking case. And I refinished the inside as well. But I rapidly outgrew this year and had to find another option for storage, but hopefully it'll work for me this next year. So let me just, again, I had to make notes because I had so many things. My first project of 2016, I started on January 9th, and it's called Random Threads by Erica Michaels. And this is my finish. I finished, it came as a kit. It's on 40 count silk gauze, half stitch 1/1 using silk. Oops. And I don't know how I will fully finish that yet. I just haven't decided. It's such a tiny little piece. I'm not sure what to do with it. My second start of the year was on the 18th of January, and I finished it on the 20th of January. It's by Cedar Hill. It's the Scarecrow. Sorry, no photo, just the pattern of that. I stitched him on 28 count linen, 2/2 using DMC. My third start was on the 20th of January. I finished it on the 25th of January. It's called the Sewing Sampler by Not Forgotten Farm. Again, it was also kitted up for me through a club that I was in out of, I think it's called the Country Sampler in Wisconsin. And here's my finish of that. And it's stitched on 30 count Weeks Dye Works tin roof, 2/2 using Gentle Arts sampler threads. That was an enjoyable stitch. My fourth project of the year, I started on January 25th and finished on January 25th. It's called the Tulip and Bunny Spring Sampler by Shelly, and I can never remember how to say her last name. It's A-U-E-N. She has an Etsy shop and a lot of cute things in her Etsy shop. And this is my finish of this, and it desperately needs to be ironed. It is stitched on Ozenberg 2/2 using DMC. Hope you can see that. Okay, and then in February, I started back working on my Heaven and Earth design piece called A Real Snow Job by Jane Wooster Scott was the artist. And I spent a lot of time working on that until the 29th of February, where I chose that day as my Anaphora Screw restart. I had started Anaphora Screw maybe in 2015, or maybe that's what I did in the beginning of January 2016, and I wasn't happy with the fabric that I selected, so I restarted that on February 29th. But I'm not showing my whips, I'm just showing my finishes. Maybe I'll do a whip parade on another video. So then on the 10th of March, I started Birds of a Feather, the Black Santa. And, excuse me, this is my finish of him. He is stitched on 36 count linen 1/2 using DMC. And I finished him on oh wait, sorry, wrong. I started him on the 28th of January, finished him on the 3rd of February, and he's stitched on 32 count natural linen 2/2 with DMC. Just getting ahead of myself here on this one. Then on the 10th of March, I started Black Willow Farm, which is by Carriage House Samplings. And I still have not found the original pattern for this one. I started him on the 10th of March. I finished on the 4th of July, stitched on 36 count Edinburgh, 1/2 using DMC. I'd had it mostly completed until, and the last thing I had to do were all the leaves, and I just procrastinated on that one. Okay, then on to the next page. Then on the 15th of March, I started the Judith Townsend Sampler, which I have not completed yet. On the 19th of April, I stitched Save the Bees, which was, I won in Emily's giveaway. Thank you again, Emily. And I stitched this for my daughter. I finished it on the 4th of September, and I stitched that one on the 32 count cream linen 1/2 using DMC. And I no longer have that because I gave it to my daughter. Then on the 1st of May, this started Mania. I stitched Merry Primitive Christmas from the Primitive Hair. It was a free pattern. I started it on May 1st. I finished it on May 1st, and I FFO'd it on May 4th. Stitched on 30 count linen that I coffee dyed and used the walnut crystals, 2/2 using DMC. So that was actually my very first FFO of 2016. Then on the 2nd of May, I started Life's a Stitch, by Lizzie Kate. I finished this one on the 27th of August. It is stitched on 32 count natural linen using Gentle Arts and DMC. And I think I probably did 1/2 stitching on this one. On the 3rd of May, I started The Pumpkin Man, which is by the Prairie Schooler. It is out of Just Cross Stitch Magazine, Halloween 2015. The little ornament. We started him on the 3rd. I finished him on the 4th. He is stitched on 36 count linen, 1/1 using DMC. And I made him into an ornament. He was a lot of fun to stitch. Okay, then on the 4th of May, I started another one by Cedar Hill called Seeds. I had stitched this one once before and I have it framed, but I wanted to make a little cushion. I started it on May 4th, finished it on May 4th, and FFO'd it on May 6th, and that one's stitched on 28 count even weave using DMC. Oh, pardon my reach. On May 5th, I started Antique Locks and Keys by Shakespeare's Peddler. I finished it on August 29th. So there we have the finish. It is stitched on 36 count flax linen using crescent color silk, and I'm sure it's 1/2. This one stitched up really fast once I got back to it. Okay, and I think I will stop here so I can get the next set in, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. All right, so then on the 6th of May, my start was for the Americana Abe, which was out of the premiere issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher, and it's by Joyce Reed. I started on the 6th of May, I finished it on the 10th of June, and then I FFO'd it on the 15th of June. He is stitched on 28 count even weave, 2/2 using DMC. And this is one of my favorite Mania finishes. Then on the 7th of May, I started one called Matilda Hornbuckle, which was out of the Just Cross Stitch Halloween 2013 by Not Forgotten Farm. I did not finish that one yet. On the 8th of May, I started USA from the Prairie Grove Peddler, which was a free pattern by the Prairie Grove Peddler. Started on the 8th of May, finished on the 15th of May, and also FFO'd on the 15th of May on 28 count even weave, 2/2 using DMC. On the 9th of May, I started one out of Just Cross Stitch Magazine 1985 called Friends. Have not finished that one. Also on the 10th of May, I started Needle's Eye from the Prairie Schooler and have not finished that one. On the 11th of May, I started Pure and Pleasant from Primitive Betty's. And I finished it on the 20th of June. It's stitched on Ozenberg 1/2 using DMC. Okay, start number 20 for the year, which was on the 12th of May. It's called Pumpkin Hill by Heart in Hand. Started on the 12th of May, finished on the 12th of May, and FFO'd on the 15th of May. On 28 count even weave, I used a combination of Weeks Dye Works and DMC for this one. On the 13th of May, I started one called Not Forgotten by Plum Street Samplers. It was in the Halloween issue of 2012 of Just Cross Stitch, I believe. But it actually didn't make it into the issue, so you had to contact them and they would send you a link that would get you the pattern. And I finished this one on the 13th of May. I FFO'd it on October 1st. It's stitched on, I think, 16 count Aida, a fabric that I dyed myself, 1/1 using Gentle Arts and Gloriana. Then on the 14th of May, I started this one. It's called Christmas. It's by Joyce Reed. It's out of the 2015 issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. And I did not get it fully finished, but I finished it on July 19th. It is on a 32 count cream linen, or cream even weave, and I used DMC for that. And some of you may recall, I stained this one on a video. On the 15th of May, I worked on Birds of a Feather Green Santa. I completed him on the 27th of May, and it's on the same piece that I did the red, the black Santa. So there is Mr. Green Santa. Let me fold him this way. And I used a combination of DMC and Weeks Dye Works for him. And if you are fans of Birds of a Feather, you know the next one in the series is the Gold Santa. Hopefully I'll get to him in 2017. Then my 24th start of the year was called Witch Silhouette Duo. That was in a Just Cross Stitch Halloween magazine, and I did not complete that. I also did not complete Be Kind, which was out of a 1995 Just Cross Stitch magazine that I started on May 17th. On May 18th, I started oh gosh, and I don't have when I finished this one. All Hallows Eve, which was a free pattern by Threadbare Primitives. It's stitched on 30 count R&R Ice Cappuccino, 2/2 using Gloriana silk. It was a very quick stitch. I probably finished it that same day, if not the next day, and FFO'd it right away. Okay, the next one, I FFO'd it, but it's on a project somewhere and I can't find it. It was the Smiling Poo emoji. I started him also on the 18th of May and finished him on the 18th of May, and I made him into a needle minder, and it was stitched on 36 count linen, 1/1 using DMC, and that was a free pattern from Corey Berry, and her website is called Plutonium Muffin. On the 28th, or my 28th start of the year, I believe, was My Soul is Fed by Gail Rieger, and it was also in a Punch Needle and Primitive Stitching magazine, the fall 2015, and I started that on the 19th of May and have not completed that. And I'm going to have to reach for this one. Okay, on the 20th of May, I started Be Simple by You and I and Friends. Started on the 20th of May, completed it on the 6th of July, and FFO'd it on the 31st of July. Lay down, little bees. And it is stitched on 36 count linen 1/2 using DMC. And I'm going to have to pause here and get the next batch. Okay, so my next start was on the 21st of May. It was a free design by Glory B called America. I finished it on the 22nd and I FFO'd it on the 15th of June. It's stitched on 28 count dove gray, even weave, 2/2 with Gentle Arts sampler threads. Running out of room. On May 22nd, I started Gould Tidings from Plum Street Stamplers. That was in the Just Cross Stitch Halloween 2013 issue, and I did not finish that one. On the 23rd of May, I started another free design by it's called Hearts for America. It is by, who's it by? Shepherd's Bush. And, oh gosh, another one that I don't have the completion date, but I completed it, and it's upside down. It is on 28 count dove gray, even weave, 2/2 using Weeks Dye Works. My next start was on the 29th of May. It was also a free pattern by Sub Rosa on her Sub Rosa blog spot. And all of these are in my Stitch Mania videos, but if you want further information on where to find these, just message me and I can look it up again and help you out. Started on the 29th of May, finished it on the 25th of July, and FFO'd it on the 31st of July. It's stitched on 36 count flax linen 1/2 using DMC. That was another fun stitch that I really enjoyed working on that. The next one I started on the 30th of May, called Love and Joy. It is by Plum Street Samplers. It was out of a Just Cross Stitch Christmas magazine of 2010. Again, I did not finish that one. The next one, my final Stitch Mania piece, it's called Flowers for Sarah by Blackbird Designs. I have not finished that one. I've actually not put another single stitch in it from the 31st of May, but I will. Then my next start was on the 18th of June. It was it's called Joyful Santa by Mel Hill. I started on 18th of June. I finished it on the 17th of August and FFO'd it on the 17th of August. It is now hanging on my daughter's Christmas tree. My next start was the 19th of July. It was a pattern from, a free pattern from the Primitive Hair called Summer Solstice. Started on the 19th of July, finished on the 21st of July, and FFO'd on the 31st of July. 30 count R&R reproduction linen called Birch using DMC. And I did not do, as you can see, the full pattern. I just did this portion of the pattern, leaving off the words. And I think I forgot one. I forgot a whole page. Sorry. Okay, let's back up. On the 24th of May, I started one for Wee Bee, called Wee Bee, by Heart and Hand. I FFO'd this one on the 31st of July. It's on 30 count linen using Gentle Arts sampler threads. Then on the 25th of May, I started Rooster Ride by Kathy Barrick, and it is from the Christmas Just Cross Stitch 2001. And I started on the 25th of May, finished on the 19th of August. Count black Aida 2/2 using DMC. Then on the 25th of May, I also started one called called Flag Maker by Not Forgotten Farm. It was a freebie on her blog spot. 36 count linen, and I believe I did 1/2 using DMC. Then the next three I did not complete. On the 26th of May, I started Liberty Parade, which was in an issue of Punch, Needle, and Primitive Stitcher, the premiere issue. The next one was from the Primitive Hair, Just Cross Stitch Christmas 2012, called I Believe in Santa. And then the free one from Plum Street Samplers called Coffin Buzz. I have not finished that one yet either. Okay. Then I did the Bee from Sub Rosa, Love and Joy, Flowers for Sarah, Joyful Santa, Summer Solstice, and then I did one off of an Etsy shop from Woohoo Cross Stitch, just called Bee. And I started this one on the 21st of July. I finished on the 30th of July. And I FFO'd it on the 31st of July. It's 1/1 on 25 count even weave using DMC. Then on the 4th of September, I started One More Stitch by Little House Needleworks. Have not finished that one either. Then I got crazy busy and I didn't start anything new until I started Thomas from Not Forgotten Farm. I started him on the 5th of September. I actually completed him on the 7th of November. It's on 11 count Aida using DMC. And he was a fun stitch. Then my next start was Antique Tin Tiles. That was started, I don't remember when. I wrote it down, but I forgot. It's by Rosewood Manor. Then on October 1st, I started the Stitch Along with Rebecca on Instagram. His Eyes on the Sparrow, Heartstrings Samplery. Still working on that, still loving every moment of it. On the 11th of October, I started a free one from Plum Street Samplers called Bok Bok. only I renamed him Gobble Gobble. And he is stitched on 30 count linen, sheep straw, using DMC, and I finished him on the 27th of October. Then if you recall, and I will put a photo in here of the 5 Mill Hill mittens that I finished, and I FFO'd all of them. So I counted that as 1 finish and 5 FFOs, because 4 of them were fully stitched and just 1 I had to finish, and then FFO them all. Okay, so I also had 2 finishes from my previous year's stitching. The first one is called A Pocket for Potions by Lottie Da. And here is the finish on that. And I think that I stitched this in 2014 or 2015. And my other finish from a previous year's was from Stacy Nash Primitives, True Love Sampler Bag and Pin Keep. And I stitched this one in 2013 or 14. Here's the pin keep. And here is the sampler bag. And the inside. I'll show you the outside with the button top. Again. Okay, new day, because Morris woke up and decided that he wanted to play. And, well, you know, kittens get first priority to me. He's running around playing now, and he may bump the tripod. If he does, I do apologize. So I think that is going to be a wrap up for my 2016 stitching. I have to say I'm very pleased with all of my starts and my finishes. I think that's probably the most starts and the most finishes that I've ever had in one year. Just a recap, I had 50 new starts. Of those 50 new starts, I had 34 finishes. 20 of those 34 were FFOs. I also had 6 FFOs from previous year's stitching, which were the 4 mittens and the Pocket for Potions and the Love Pin Keep sewing bag from Stacy Nash. If you are keeping track in any way, that means I have 16 whips from 2016. If I add that to my prior year's whips, I have around 22 current whips, which is far more than I want to have. I've never gotten too uptight about the number of whips that I have, but currently I have some very large whips. From previous years, I have Houses of Hawk Run Hollow, which I have not even completed the first block on. I'd like to get to that for 2017. So I guess we're moving into my 2017 plans. I have a Sal from the Primitive Hair that I would like to get some stitches into. And from 2016, I have Heaven and Earth, my Heaven and Earth, which is a real snow job. The artist is Jane Worcester Scott. I would love to spend some time on that again this year. Of course, I have Rosewood Manor and a Forest Grew that I really enjoy stitching on. I love Morris. Would really love to maybe see a completion on that in 2017. I also have antique tin tiles that I am anxious to stitch more on, as well as his eyes on the sparrow. And of course, I have my final Stitch Mania piece that is Flowers for Sarah from Blackbird Designs that I want to work on. I think what my plans for 2017 will be, and of course this is subject to change, is just to focus on those whips for the first part of 2017. I do have some new starts planned. As a birthday gift to myself, I purchased Blackbird Designs Garden Club series. After watching Nicole's needlework and seeing how beautiful they are, it was like, no question, I need that in my life. So that's probably going to be a new start, but again, that's a very large project. And I also have Anniversaries of the Heart from Blackbird Designs that I want to start. So those are two major projects that I want to start in 2017, and of course, I'm sure there will be multiple smaller projects. Morris, say hi. Say hi, Morris. Oh, you are adorable. I don't know how you guys who have cats get anything done, because I could spend all day playing with him. Okay, so apart from my stitching for 2017, I also have some knitting projects in mind that I want to complete and some that I want to start, as well as I have a lot of quilting that I have in progress that I would like to work on. So those are the projects that I want to work on. As far as my stitching resolutions for 2017, I do have a few of those, and I hope that I will be able to honor those resolutions. The first being more regular in making my videos, setting up some type of schedule for my videos rather than just as and when. The second being a little quicker in replying to the comments that everyone makes on my videos. I have fallen so behind in that, and I do apologize. I do read them all, but in the last few months, it's just been impossible for me to have the time to reply to those. So that is one of my goals for 2017, is to reply in a timely manner. And also to comment on others' videos. I always hit that like button, but I don't always comment, and I need to be better about commenting on your videos, because I thoroughly enjoy watching all your videos, and I want to let you know that I appreciate you making them, taking the time, because they do take time. I think that pretty much wraps it up. I just want to thank you all for watching, for liking, for subscribing. It really means a lot to me. I can't believe, I think I'm somewhere around 1,300 subscribers, and that just blows my mind. But thank you all for coming to visit me. And I want to wish you all a happy new year and lots of stitching time. So until I see you again, happy new year and happy stitching. Bye for now.